email and get you all signed in. And then if more come, we'll use this bench as well. Skylar, will you open them? I will take care of that right now also. Guys, whoever's super cute backpackers is, I'm moving it. Okay. Jordan, got you, baby.
Hi, my name is Katherine Smith, and today I'm just going to be helping the models get more into the fashion industry, as well as helping them perfect their modeling looks today.
Fantastic. We look forward to watching your class.
Thank you. Thank you. I was like, I don't know where else I'm going to wear them, so I was like,
They're everything. Where did you get them?
best
Online?
Yes. Yes. Zara.
Okay, because I'm like, I can hold on legs and everything's always like.
Yeah, and if I can help you, they're like over my toes.
So, as models, you guys should always be building up your portfolio, which means working consistently with different photographers. As an agent, if I have an entire portfolio that's the same photographer over and over and over again, I don't really see how you've got a lot of experience. Do you know what I mean? Because some photographers are going to give you some guidance as they take your photos, as they pose you, as you do your concept. Some photographers are just gonna be dry and they're just gonna click. And yeah, you've got to come up with your own, everything. And so I feel like every time you shoot, it's a learning experience, especially because we don't have a lot of classes for models within New Mexico. I think I do a print class maybe once a month. Every time you shoot is a print class. You guys should actually be looking at your photos and critiquing them. Where was my shoulder? Where was my neck? Where was my chin? Is the other arm behind me completely missing? Like, can you see all of my extremities? Yeah. I also feel like as a model, you guys need to know how to act. You need to know how to portray emotion almost immediately. Realize that as an actress, you have minutes, hours to push across a character. As a model, you have one click of the camera. One click of the camera to show what emotion are you portraying? What are you modeling? What merchandise are you showing? In one click of the camera. So I think it's really important that you guys understand that when you're going through your photos, you can look at it and say, yes, I would be happy here. I'm sad here. I'm surprised here. I'm scared here. And you need to mess with your emotions as you mess with your poses. Yeah. Also, not every pose is hands on the hip, especially for print. Yeah. Some runway designers will say, if you put your hand on your hip, I'm going to cut it off. Yeah. I'm not mad at the hand on the hip, but I definitely don't want hand on the hip, hand on the hip, hand on the hip. Do you know what I mean? So you guys, every time you shoot or every time you get a chance to do runway, it's a learning experience. It's a class for you all, which you guys don't really get a lot of chance to have. And then as you do that, as an agent, it gives me diversity within your portfolio to be able to submit you for stuff. Also, age diversity is a really big deal. Versailles, you could play 16 all the way to 20s, grown-ass woman, you know what I mean? And so we need to see that within your portfolios as well. You looking kind of Disney, you looking kind of college age, then you looking kind of like grown-ass businesswoman, yeah? It's like you can mess with your age diversity, and then you also need to mess with your concept diversity within your portfolios. High-end fashion, commercial, theatrical, athletic, cosplay. I mean, there's so many different things that you guys need to be doing within your portfolio. So it does make a difference when you get to shoot with different photographers. Yeah. So back to Mondo, I want to make sure that you guys get his information before you leave. He is one of my highest recommended. So get with him, work on your portfolio. If I haven't sent you over a list of photographers that you can start kind of looking at and seeing if you want to add them to what you want to do, let me know and I'll make sure to send it to you. Most of you, I think, have got it, but some of you might not have yet. So let me know. But what we are going to do now is I'm going to let Katherine take the floor and give you guys some of her experiences and her insight. Please feel free to ask her questions. Of all times to ask a booking professional model questions, this is it. Like any questions. And I honestly feel like people are like, well, I feel stupid asking that. How else are you going to find out? Yeah, you've got to ask. So even if you're like, this is the stupidest question, but please ask her. Please take advantage of her knowledge and of her experience. Yeah. And I love you.
Okay, I'm awful at talking about myself, but I feel like I should give you guys a little bit of background before you guys can trust me with all of my knowledge. I started modeling, oh my goodness, when I was 14. I was bullied for a majority of my life because of the way that I looked. I was 5'7" by the time I was in fourth or fifth grade, which is not the average height of a fourth or fifth grader, with red hair and blue eyes, and I was kind of like the minority of my school. It was a very Hispanic school, and so I really stood out in that audience. And so then my hairdresser, who is still my hairdresser today and one of my best friends, she was like, why don't you try modeling? You have a different face, you have a different look, why don't you try modeling? And so she did this runway show for, I think like this will go on her like 15 years of doing this show. And she's like, I want you to try and do it. It's a small show, you'll be able to do it. And so I ended up booking with some of my friends, Conti and Brown. I actually got featured in Vogue with their designs. I didn't realize that this show was going to have 3,000 people.
Wow.
It was, and this show, so I had to submit a walking video. I had to send in a photo of myself, which was like a little photo from Walgreens. I stood at like the white wall and took a photo. And they wanted me. I ended up, I was their final look. And I stood out on stage, didn't realize there's 3,000 people, and I looked. And you could just see the fear in my eyes, and then I started walking. And then what was even cooler is it was a couture show. So I was actually wearing a jellyfish. So I really got pushed into the fashion industry extremely fast. And so I had to learn on my feet. I had to mature really fast. And so something you'll learn about me is I'm actually 18 years old, but I have been working with these high productions, a lot of crew members. And so you have to learn how to mature fast. And so let's see. I got featured in Vogue that next year at that same runway show when I was 15. And then from there, I signed with my first management when I have no idea when I signed with my first management. And then with my management now, I actually signed last January. And I've been to Mexico City, New York, Dallas. I've worked with Levi's Jeans, Philosophy Junior, different magazines. I'm trying to think of what else I've done. I got to actually work on a castle, or in a castle, and that was for 4 days for a catalog shoot. And so they rented out the entire castle. I was able to walk around, just experience what it's like being a princess for a day. And so, yeah, I guess that's just a little bit about me. But if you guys want to ask me a little bit more questions of different runways I've done, I think this is actually really cool to say. The fastest runway show I've done was 2 minutes, and I had 5 outfit changes.
Whoa.
Yeah. it was swimsuits, so it was a little bit easier, but it was for the national TV in Mexico City, and it was for Zingara swimwear, which you can find in Dillard's, and it was 5 changes. There was 2 models, so we were back and forth on the stage, and literally, if the camera would have turned just a tad, I would have been putting on a show while I was changing. So. And you definitely have to just, roll with the punches. If they tell you need to strip down right here, you got to do it, because one, they're paying you. That's how you network, just by following their instructions, and then that's how you get more jobs. So I'm happy to say I have friends at the Fenty PR place now, as well as Zingara swimwear. So whenever I go down to Mexico, I go and say hi to them. Yeah, so I mean, that's just a little bit of what I've done, but if you guys have any questions of how to get started, what to expect on set, different things like that, you can ask me. Yeah.
In the beginning, what was your favorite way to kind of get your name and face out there?
Oh my goodness. So the hardest part, especially like being in New Mexico, which isn't very known for modeling, it was hard to find people that actually know the industry and know how to help me develop. And so I met my scout, who I'm still really good friends with, and he takes all of my digitals that I need for my agencies. And he explained to me, he was like, this is what you have to look for. This is what you didn't have to, or what you shouldn't be looking for. Or, does that make sense? Hopefully that makes sense. Yeah. I'm horrible at public speaking. And so, so like, you should never have to pay to join an agency. What happens is they work with you, they usually take 15% of what you usually make. And so that's how they get paid. You should never have to pay a yearly fee. There we go.
I'm charging all of you to sign.
Yes. Every single signature is $15, they should know what digitals are. And I feel like a lot of people in New Mexico do not know what digitals are. Do you guys know what digitals are? Tell us. So what they are is it's basically you wear all black, black tank top, black crop top, skinny jeans normally, black shoes, no makeup, natural hair. And you take, it's almost like mug shots, front, side, maybe like corner, back, everything, so the agencies get to see you in raw. That's all they want, because then they were going to build off of that. So make sure you get digitals at least every single month, whether that's on your phone or you go and visit a photographer so you can kind of get better quality photos. I have a photographer, like my scout, he will work with me every single month and take my photos for me. So that's how you can get started. And then from there, you can just work with your agent and they can work with getting you developed out of the state of New Mexico. Because that's what I wanted to do. I was like, there's nothing here in New Mexico other than like the show that I'm putting on, which is all volunteer models. Like I want you guys to start getting paid for what you do because I love it so much. I'm going to work for it. And even though I'm going to have to work out of New Mexico, if that's what I have to do, I'm going to do it.